Hi everyone, it is Brianna here from Made Well, coaching practice designed to empower others to be healthy and thrive in all areas of their life. So I'm a holistic health coach and I am here to talk to you today about Whole30, which is an eating program, and stress and sleep. I titled this lovely video, how Whole30 is the key to less stress and more sleep. And the reason why I say that, one of the good food standards that Whole30 kind of talks about, the writers of Whole30 talks about, is food that we eat should promote a good hormonal response. So with that, often many people think that when we're talking about hormonal response, we're talking about women's hormones. Let's just be clear, everybody has hormones. Everybody has hormones, and we have multiple hormones. Hormones are our chemical messengers that tell our body to do a bunch of different things, right? And with that, I'm trying to make sure my book doesn't, make sure my notes don't fall apart over here. With that, we need to recognize that what we eat impacts our hormones. Does not just make us moody, does not just make us happy. It impacts our feelings of feeling full. It impacts our hunger levels. It impacts our stress levels, and it impacts our rest levels, right? So food is the basis of the nutrition pyramid, of the wellness pyramid, the fitness pyramid, all the pyramids of health, because it literally can impact your life for good or impact your life for worse. I'm just going to share this in my group. So I'm going to kind of just talk about 4 hormones, roughly, and how that impacts and how they relate to stress and sleep and how food impacts those things, right? So what are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers that are usually transported in your bloodstream. They're secreted by cells in one part of the body and bind to receptors in another part of the body. Pretty much, hormones keep things in balance, right? So the 4 hormones that, you know, I'm even just going to share from you, from It Starts With Food, the Whole30 book, because this book is life-changing. So definitely get it if you haven't. But there's 4 that I'm going to talk about: insulin, leptin, glycogen, and cortisol. So insulin is what we would call a storage hormone. So whenever you eat any sort of carbohydrate, insulin is released to store that blood sugar, because every carbohydrate breaks down to blood sugar within your body. So to store that blood, store that sugar into your liver or your muscles, because we can't have the sugar flowing in our blood. You ever heard of high blood pressure, or low blood sugar, high blood sugar, all those sort of things? Your body just can't handle that much sugar in your bloodstream, so it needs to store it. Now the issue then becomes when we're constantly eating foods that put our body in this inflammatory state, and it's constantly producing insulin, constantly working overtime, and it actually puts our bodies and our minds in a very stressful state. And it actually is what leads to weight gain, because your body can only store so much sugar, so then it stores it as fat. And so that's just kind of the breakdown of insulin and all of that. But glycogen is the other one. So this is actually hormone, stress, sleep talk, everything in one. I'm going to get to the stress and sleep soon. But glycogen is that stored sugar is released so your body can use it as energy. But then the issue then becomes when you're consuming so much carbohydrates, so much sugar, your body stores it as fat, but it can never get to use that fat as energy because you're still consuming an over excess amount. So your glycogen is actually not being released. You're just having an overabundance of insulin. Hi, whoever joined. Feel free to say hello. And sorry that if I'm geeking out about these hormones. They're actually really cool when you start to understand them. Now, let's get to sleep a little bit, and some hormones that are impacted by sleep. So leptin is a hormone that is pretty much, it balances your energy, and it's let loose or secreted primarily by fat cells and is released in proportion to the amount of fat you stored. So your brain tells your body, this is how much fat you have, and you need to use it. But again, if you're over consuming, your body can't use that. But with leptin at night, did you know this? Leptin is produced more at night when you sleep well. When you sleep well, you feel full and your body's better able to say, hey, you have some stored energy, let's use that. And therefore, if your goal is to lose weight, you'll lose weight, or your body will just be functioning and not having an excess of anything. Now, the problem is when you don't sleep as much, your body doesn't get that feeling of, oh, I'm full, oh, I have energy that is stored and used. It's actually depleted because leptin isn't being produced as much. What is produced more is make sure I pronounce it right, Ghrelin. Now, Ghrelin is the one that makes your body say, hey, I need more energy, I'm not as full, and that's produced more when you sleep. So do you see the cycle there? So from around for sleep, if you're not sleeping, well, you're going to feel more hungry. And so what are you going to go towards? You're going to go towards other foods. You're not sleeping, so you're stressed more. So your cortisol and insulin levels are spiked. And then what happens is your body's in a constant state of inflammation or constant state of fight or flight. This stressful response may not just be mentally, right? Your body responds to stress in your physical body the same way it responds to your mind. So your body's constantly feeling stressed. Your hormones are not operating the way they should. You're not eating the way you should. And you're just kind of left into a cycle of defeat. Now, add in poor eating habits, then your body's producing too much insulin. It's not using its stored glycogen. It's not feeling full, even though it keeps asking you for food, but it's asking for the wrong food, and it's just this messy cycle. I haven't even, it's probably completely explained it correct, but it's just this messy cycle of I'm overly stressed, so my body's producing more cortisol to help me deal with that stress, but then, I'm overly stressed, so then my insulin is also trying to, give me the energy to deal with this stressful state, but then I'm not feeling full, and then I'm tired, and it's just a never-ending cycle. And one of the prime ways that you can solve that cycle and break that cycle is changing your eating habits. By changing your eating habits and eating more whole foods with less preservatives, less added sugars, less processed, all that sort of stuff, you're going to feel fuller longer, you're going to sleep better, and you're going to be able to manage stress levels just a little bit better because you're eating foods that don't make your mood crazy, that don't make you, actually some foods can make you feel sadder, right? Because your melatonin and that's your happy hormone is made in your stomach. And you're better equipped to handle stress because you're rested and you're properly nourished, right? So you're going to keep eating well, and that good cycle is going to continue. Your body's going to start using your stored fat and all these different things. And so at the core of it, when you're eating well, you are going to be less stressed and you're going to sleep better, which then impacts each other, right? So it's almost like eat well, stress less, sleep more. Therefore, if you sleep more, you stress less, you eat better. So that is actually the cycle we want to get into. And yes, there are many ways to go about that, right? Really fine-tuning what you're eating. And this is why I love the Whole30, because by eating more whole foods in a natural way and consistently doing that over a period of time, 30 days is what we give for this, particular challenge, but there are many people that do it, so forth, and I even consistently eat like that throughout the week, is that you're creating a new habit for your body. And that's something we'll talk about in the program as well, is often we get into this place of that cycle, even that hunger, stress, sleep cycle, the unhealthy one, because it's become a habit. It's not always our fault. It's just something we've done, and then we can repeatedly to do until it's a habit. Right? So how do we break that habit of feeling always stressed? Well, then, we have to deal with our life and the causes of those stressors, but our body always being stressed, and then sleeping less and eating unhealthy and eating more. Well, we have to stop it somewhere. And if it starts with food, we need to start there. Right? Man, that's all I'm going to say. It starts with food. And so if you are watching this and you're not you haven't yet joined us in the program or haven't yet committed to it, I am telling you, this program, it's more to me than just about helping you change your food. I want to help you change your food so you can change every part of your physical health, which then will change every part of your life. I've been really, really kind of taking a step back this last, couple months and asking myself, what is it that I really want to help people with? And yes, food and physical health, all of that is the core thing that I think I started with and I want to help people start with. But very nature, I care about your whole life. I care about whether you're thriving relationally, financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, vocationally, physically. Because to me, when I started paying attention to all those things, I started to find wholeness, I started to find healthiness, thriving, and happy. And so if you are looking for a complete physical health program, this is the program for you. And again, it starts with food. So we are going to pay attention to that, but we're going to pay attention to so much more. We're going to pay attention to how you can manage stress and eliminate it. Because sometimes we're stressing ourselves out and we don't need to be. Can I get an amen? How we can practically do practical things to sleep more. Whether it's coloring, adult coloring is back these days, even though I think we should always have kept coloring. Whether it's like meditation or deep breaths, all these different practical ways, and then, essential oils and how all these extra things and, magnesium helps you sleep. So all these different practical things we can do so that we are not just focusing on one part of our health, but our whole, even a part of our physical health. Holistic. So thanks so much for listening. Hi, Victoria. If you are interested, I'm going to put the Whole30 link here. The early bird price ends this Sunday. It is $99 US for 6 weeks of, I've been working on the trainings and I've been going in, and I'm so excited the way that it's going to get presented on all of those 6 areas: preparing, nutrition, exercise, digestion, natural solutions, stress, sleep, mindset, habits, and other areas. A little bit more than 6. And the reintroduction phase for the Whole30 after you're done. And so if you're interested in that, the group program is $99 US. The one-on-one program is only $399 US. I've discounted my one-on-one services. So for this program, you'll get everything the group gets, but you get 3 coaching sessions, one before the Whole30, one during, and one after. Because last time I did it with the one-on-one coaching, I only did 2 sessions, and I just found that actually having 3 was very useful to have that help in between, because it's actually in between while you're doing the Whole30 that you're kind of like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to do this anymore. Or am I supposed to feel this way? Can I talk to someone who's been there? And so if you know that that is you, and you know that you really want one-on-one support for not just your nutrition, but your whole physical health this fall, join us. Early bird for both of those, and this Sunday, $99 for the group, $399 US for one-on-one plus group, and each are going to go up by $100 for the 4 or 5 days after, and then the cart closes August 31st because we start preparing September 4th. Week of preparation, and we start September 11th, the actual Whole30. So that's it. I am sorry. I know I rambled a little bit about the hormones, and I realized, okay, this is what you're going to talk about, but then I just started geeking out because I love everything, learning about the body and learning how literally our choice, the power of us choosing healthy and proper foods can literally change our entire life. It's actually mind-blowing to me, and that's why I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone needs to know. So anyways, thank you for the ladies that joined and stay. I'm sorry if you commented and I didn't see, but feel free to comment, and those watching the replay, feel free to say hello, and please check out the program. If you know it's something that you want to do with someone, I am going to match an accountability partner, so ask someone to join you, or if you know someone else that would really benefit from it, please just share the link with them. I'm really excited for this. Okay, have a great one. I'll talk to you guys later.